Pinot Noir, sex in a glass. Pinot Noir is probably the most interesting and most complex grape varietal on the planet. The amount of characters that go into the wine is incredible when it comes out of the glass. And this derives from the fact that it's got lots of different characteristics that are involved through the way it's grown and through the way that it's produced. Historically, it's a Burgundian wine and named after Pinot, pine cone, and Noir, or Nero in Italian, which is black. And whether or not the grape is from Burgundy or from perhaps movement of the Roman Empire through France is not known. But it derives from these two words, because on the vine, the grapes themselves are small and black clusters that look like black pine cones. In Burgundy, the grape is grown normally as a red grape, as a red wine. In Champagne, it's used for the production of the Grand Crus. So it's used with Pinot Meunier and Chardonnay. And in fact, when you first press Pinot Noir, it's a white juice. When you add the skins, then you get this beautiful garnet colour. Now, Pinot Noir must be produced in a cool climate, and that's why it's produced very well in Champagne and very well in Burgundy. As soon as you get a warmer climate, you get too much fruit character, it becomes too sweet. If you go too cool, you get too much greenness, too much acid. So there's a very small area around the world where you can produce very good Pinot Noir. And in fact, it's mainly in Burgundy and Champagne, but you also find very good Pinot Noir in Germany. The grape is called Spätburgunder. You also find Pinot Noir in Austria. And then in the southern hemisphere, you find very good Pinot Noir in the south of Western Australia, Victoria in Australia, and also in Tasmania, and actually across all of New Zealand, they produce very good Pinot Noir. Now, Pinot Noir is a beautiful wine to drink. It's got three sort of characteristics. The primary characteristics are the fruit. You have strawberry, raspberry, cherry fruit characters, summer fruit characters. You then have under that a spice that comes from the oak, because generally winemakers are using French oak for Pinot Noir, and this gives the wine beautiful tannin structure that comes from the skins, and it gives the wine a spicy oak character. Beneath that, you have a tertiary characteristic, which is almost like a forest floor. It's unusual because you only really find that in Pinot Noir, but it's almost of a vegetable character. And as Pinot Noirs age, the amazing old Burgundy Pinot Noirs age, they lose their fruit character, they lose their colour, because red wines get lighter as they get older, and and this beautiful forest floor character comes through that makes Pinot Noir almost sexy, almost smell human in some sort of form. In this glass, I have a New Zealand Pinot Noir. So you can see that the colour is quite light and garnet, and you do have these characteristics coming through of summer fruit. And I've put this into a bowl glass. So this is what you should be drinking great Chardonnays out of and great Pinot Noirs, because it really lets the wine open up. And you can see the colour is light. On this wine, you have this spice character coming through. It's almost like a vanilla spice, and that is from the oak. And whether they're making Pinot Noir in France, or Spätburgunder in Germany, or Pinot Noir in Australia, or in New Zealand, they always use French oak. French oak gives beautiful, tight, complex tannins to wines. Now, underneath the tannins and the spice, you have, as I mentioned earlier, this vegetable character. And this is something that gives Pinot Noir an edge on everything else, an edge on all the other grape varietals, because it just builds this beautiful sort of mystique about the wine. So when you smell that, you have lots of interesting characters. In fact, I once trained a group of restaurateurs and one of them had not had much experience with wine, and she said to me that she could smell a rainy day in her Pinot Noir. And what you have is you have this earth character that comes through, and it's really, really interesting. So Pinot Noir is a lovely grape varietal. The reason why it's so expensive is because it's very hard to produce. It suffers from a lot of issues with mildew. It can only produce in very, very certain parts of the world, so it's an expensive wine to grow. Now this month we have this in our November Brad subscription pack, so if you're a subscriber, you're really getting treated. But Pinot Noir, because the tannins are light, because the skin doesn't give too much tannin texture to the wine, you have almost a velvety tannin structure. So Pinot Noirs go very well with everything. You can drink them on their own, with fish, with meat, with cheese, with chocolate. Everything goes very well with Pinot Noir. It's a beautiful wine just to drink, and it's also a great wine to keep, because you'll find that if you keep bottles, you'll notice that over time they develop and they become soft and beautiful to drink. So here's to Pinot Noir. Amazing, and to Burgundy, and to New Zealand, and thank you very much. Subscribe online and we'll send you a beautiful bottle of this Pinot Noir.